Hey everybody, we're talking about probate today. It's a great lead source for your real estate business. And underutilized. We don't People don't talk a lot about it. Some do, and it's just under. I'm telling you, after doing this for many years, decades, probate's it's kind of a unique niche. Okay, um, a couple things about probate. The reason why I say it's unique, it's how the data is collected. All right. I remember I think about a decade ago or something. Some companies like PropStream and REI Pro and ListSource and things like that. They started getting this data and they kind of marketed it. Hey, guess what? If you're struggling trying to find going down to the courthouse all the time. Here's this for leads, and you pay us $200 a month and all organized, blah blah, or it might be couple $1,000 or something. I think I paid probably 2010, 20, 2 grand or something for some list, whatever the heck, and this guy had all this stuff in there. It's 2 grand back then. It was wow, but it saved me from going down to the courthouse. Okay, now it's obviously been democratized. There's putting of leads out there, and you guys probably know about some of these, and they're good. I'm not knocking them. It's actually nice, very convenient. Back in the day, I literally would go to the courthouse, bring my laptop, bring this thing I'm on right now, the laptop. I'd go to the courthouse, sit my backside down on the chair, and scroll through notes to defaults. Look in there. Okay, who's the beneficiary? Okay, their address. Who's the seller, essentially, the guy in default, whatever. And been so long, I forgot. But what's the term? Not, but it's not. He's a seller, obviously, but he's the anyway. So I'll think of it in a minute when it doesn't matter. But point being, we're talking about probate now. Anyway, all that to say, I would do all that stuff by hand. For like 3 hours, 4 hours, right? I get there at 8 and I work till like noon, and then I have all this data that I put in my spreadsheet. And then I get in my car and I drive around, knock on doors and things. Okay. And that's a real pain in the ass, as you can imagine. And so it's 2021 and we want things better. Okay. Well, the thing about probate is this. Here's why this is relating to probate. Probate data is different from all those, most of the other data that is abstracted and sold to companies. Okay. And the thing about probate too is uh, it's county specific. Does that make sense? So if you're in a big county, you live in Atlanta, well, plenty, plenty of people in the courthouse getting information, that kind of thing. But if you're living in a rural area, or you're trying to target some probates in some rural areas, chances are that's probably not online at all, and it might be harder to get to. Okay. So first of all, what is probate? I totally jumped ahead of myself. I should have said this in the beginning. Probate, essentially, it's a lead source. Again, this is not legal advice. This is about lead sources for real estate. Okay, so probate, essentially, grandma died, mom died, and Betty died, and the house, was built in the 40s or something, and the house has been updated since 1993 or something, and it's got a green bathtub, pink sink. Mold in the attic, roof's leaking, needs an egress window, the window's shot, the furnace is shot, whatever. Okay. The house is not financeable. Notice what I said. Currently, the house is not financeable. That is important. Okay. What do I mean by house is not financeable? House, uh, if, say, friend Betty and their 2 kids and a dog and a cat, they want to buy the house because they're super excited about buying their first home. They go to Wells Fargo, get a loan. The appraiser is going to look at the house and he's going to say, we Wells Fargo will not underwrite a loan on this house until all these things are fixed because we don't think it's financeable right now. The roof's leaking. You got wood touching the dirt. The ground slopes this way instead of this way. All this stuff, peeling paint. Everything. Okay. So in order for Wells Fargo, say, to lend on this house, all the stuff has to get fixed. Okay. So it's not financeable. Okay. So that's the thing. The house is not financeable. So grandma dies, mom dies, and the house she currently has is not financeable. Well, here's the problem. You see the problem with this is that a house is worth $400,000 and Aunt Betty's money's in there. Your mom's money's in there. Your money's in there. Uncle Tom's money's in there, and Uncle Bob and Aunt Susan, and all, all the heirs. That's their inheritance, and they want the money. Well, then fix the house, right? Well, Aunt Susan, she's got no money because she's a single mom working 2 jobs, and Aunt Betty, well, she's a drunk. We never talked to her. And Aunt Susan, she's out in Minnesota somewhere, and Uncle Tom, he's a truck driver, and you get my point. Who's got the money? Who's got the time to do it? Well, no one's got it. They just want the cash, right? So you show up and you're the hero. Hey, look at this. What if I could give you this cash right now? Boom, boom, boom. You guys take your cash, right? And you can do this. Okay. So probate's awesome, especially with some of these creative things, because many times in a probate situation, there are more than one piece of property. Sometimes there's land involved, and we love land because there's so much opportunities, particularly with lot subordinations. You say, listen, I can't give you all the money for this house right now because it's not financial, but all that land you have, what if I could give you full retail? You don't need the house. You don't need the cash right now, do you? Can you wait 6 months so that you can have the money and more money for your inheritance? And then you do a lot subordination, and you can either wholesale that lot subordination for an extra, 20, 30, 40,000 bucks, or you could build on it. And we talk about that a lot of times. Okay. So that's the essence of how probate works. Now, one key though, you need to understand, and this is going to be kind of a series of probate videos, so you understand kind of how this works. You need to understand, you need to be talking to the personal representative of the estate. Okay. So what do I mean by that? When grandma dies, mom dies, it goes into probate. Most of the time it goes into probate. There's times it doesn't. There's a trust and living trust, that kind of thing. But for the most part, it goes into probate, and so the court's going to get involved. Okay, someone died. Who's got the assets? Who owes what? Let's get this thing sorted out. Okay, and the court's very interested in the state having a performing asset. What do I mean by that? They don't want this house to be stuck. I mean, sometimes probates are 10, 20 years, right? Remember that one Charles Dickens book, Janus and was it Bleak House? Yeah, it's like Jarnus or something, and Jarnus. It was like a 30, 40-year probate deal, and the only one who made money in the whole deal was the attorneys. Anyway, sometimes that happens, but rare, because the court's interested in a house being a performing asset to the state, meaning that the state, is able to get taxes. If it's in probate, no one's paying taxes, right? Nobody wins. The state doesn't win, right? You get it? So, anyway, where I'm going with this. So, probate, the person you're going to be essentially negotiating with is called the personal representative. So when the person dies, their state, everything enters probate, and the court appoints a personal representative. It might be a daughter or son. I've had a personal representative be from U.S. Bank before, of all things. So it just really kind of depends, whatever. So the point is, who doesn't matter who it is, but what matters is who it is, okay? So you've got to get that lead. That's who you're talking to. If you're trying to negotiate with Uncle Bob and Aunt Susie, she's the one that's the personal representative, you're going to be wasting a whole lot of time, my friend. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't be negotiating with the wrong person, okay? And so they get appointed to this in this position, okay? And then once you negotiate with them, then they obviously, their job is to present it to the heirs, and then it's a hit and miss. Sometimes the judge has to approve it, sometimes the judge doesn't have to approve it. Really depends on the situation. Sometimes at the advice of the attorney, they'll do some stuff. So anyway, I hope this helps. These videos I have a few more of these to kind of explain probates, because it's kind of there's a lot to it. But they're awesome opportunity. So if you're considering, getting a better lead source, look into probates. Okay, it's an awesome strategy, particularly with some of these creative wholesale strategies. Lot subordination is awesome. Or even administrative law splits. Some of these houses are old and they're on original parcels, meaning that the house actually can be split. Might be able to be split multiple times. Okay. So hope this helps. If you have any questions, you want some mentorship, you want to talk, whatever, let me know below, and we'll do some business and help you guys get going. You can do this. Godspeed, and talk to you soon.